Welcome to Learning with UNP. In this session of Business Intelligence with Power BI, we will explore an essential aspect of data visualization, building reports using different charts. This is part 1 of our series on Power BI visualizations, where we will focus on some of the most commonly used basic chart types in Power BI. Charts helps us present data in a way that is visually appealing, easy to interpret, and insightful. Instead of looking at long tables filled with numbers, charts allows us to identify patterns, trends, and comparisons quickly. By the end of the session, you will not only understand the different types of charts available, but also know when to use them, how they are structured, and how to build them in Power BI. Before we dive into creating charts, let's take a look at what we will cover today. We'll start with introduction to charts and continue by understanding what is the use of charts in reports, what are types of charts, that includes stacked bar, stacked column chart, clustered bar, clustered column chart, 100% stacked bar, 100% stacked column chart, pie and donut chart, line and area chart. These are some of the fundamental charts that are widely used in business reports for analyzing data in different ways. Before we start working with each chart, let's first understand what charts are and why they are important in data visualization. What are charts? Charts are graphical representations of data that make it easier to interpret trends, compare values, and identify patterns. Instead of reading through large tables filled with numbers, charts present data in a way that is quick to understand and interpret. Imagine you're working with sales data for an organization. If you only look at the data in a table, you will see rows and columns of numbers, which can be difficult to analyze quickly. But if you plot the same data in a chart, you can instantly spot trends, patterns, and relationships between different variables. Now the question is, why do we use charts? Here is the answer. Charts helps us in summarizing large amounts of data in a clear and simple way. It helps us to compare values across different categories and time periods, identify trends and patterns that might not be obvious in raw data, highlight relationships between different data points, enhance decision making by providing a clear view of performance metrics. Now that we understand why charts are useful, let's explore each type of chart one by one, understand when to use them, and how to build them in Power BI. Currently, we are in Power BI Desktop. I named these two pages as basic charts as we will be building these basic charts in these two pages. Over here to the right side, we have visualization pane where all the charts are available. We will be dealing with few charts from this pane. Let's first understand what is stacked bar and stacked column chart. The first chart in the pane is stacked bar chart. Click on it. The second chart in the pane is stacked column chart. Click on it. Let's place them side by side. Now let's understand what is a stacked column chart. A stacked column chart is a type of column chart where different categories are stacked on top of each other within each column. The total height of the column represents the sum of all values, while the individual segments represent the subcategories contributing to that total. Now let's understand what is a stacked bar chart. A stacked bar chart works exactly the same like a stacked column chart, but instead of vertical columns, the data is displayed in a horizontal bars. Although both charts serve the same purpose, the difference lies in how the data is displayed. Stacked column chart is best for comparing categories over time, example monthly sales by region, etc. Whereas stacked bar chart is best for comparing categories with long names, where horizontal bars are easier to read. The difference also lies in terms of axis. In stacked column chart, x-axis represents the category, example product band. Y-axis represents the total value, example total quantity sold. Whereas in stacked bar chart, y-axis represents the category, that is product brand, and x-axis represents the total value, that is total quantity sold. Let's say for our example, we want to analyze total quantity sold by product brand, further broken down by member card holders. So let's click on stacked bar chart, open transactions data, take total quantity sold on x-axis, open products data, take product brand on y-axis, open customers data, and take member card as legend. Let's take the same columns in column chart 2. Take member card in legend, take product brand in x-axis, total quantity sold in y-axis. Let's arrange the charts properly. As we can see, stacked column chart is giving us information about product brand versus total quantity sold stacked by member card, and same with stacked bar chart too. Now let's understand about clustered bar and clustered column chart. The third chart in the visualization pane is clustered bar chart. Click on it. And the fourth chart is clustered column chart. Click on it. So what is a clustered column chart? A clustered column chart is similar to a stacked column chart, but instead of stacking values on top of each other, each category is placed side by side for a clear comparison. And a clustered bar chart works the same way as clustered column chart, but instead of vertical columns, the data is displayed as horizontal bars. But what is the difference between clustered column chart and clustered bar chart? The clustered column chart is useful when comparing multiple categories over time, that is, quarterly sales by region, etc. Whereas clustered bar chart is useful when comparing categories with long labels, example, sales by different store locations, etc. The difference also lies in terms of axis. In clustered column chart, x-axis represents categories like sales district, etc. Y-axis represents the total value like total quantity sold, etc. Whereas in clustered bar chart, y-axis represents the category like sales district, etc. and x-axis represents the total value like total quantity sold, etc. Now, for our example, let's say we want to analyze total quantity sold across different sales district grouped by homeowner status. To do that, let's click on clustered column chart, go to transaction data, take total quantity sold on y-axis, sales district on x-axis, and homeowner as legend. Coming to clustered bar chart, we'll take homeowner in legend, sales district in y-axis, total quantity sold in x-axis. As you can see, the clustered column chart represents sales district versus total quantity sold grouped by homeowner. And same with clustered bar chart too. Let's go to another page. Now, let's discuss about 100% stacked bar chart and 100% stacked column chart. The fourth chart in the visualization pane is 100% stacked bar chart. Click on it. And the fifth chart is 100% stacked column chart. Click on it. Let's place them side by side. Let me explain you what is a 100% stacked column chart. A 100% stacked column chart is similar to a stacked column chart, but instead of displaying actual values, it normalizes the values into percentages, ensuring that the total for each category always equals to 100%. And a 100% stacked bar chart works the same way, but instead of vertical columns, the data is displayed as horizontal bars, making it easier to compare percentage distributions when dealing with longer category names. And the key difference between 100% stacked bar chart and 100% stacked column chart is their visual representation. 100% stacked column chart is best for comparing proportions over time, such as percentages of sales contributed by different regions over months. And 100% stacked bar chart is best when comparing percentage distributions across categories with longer labels. And the difference also lies in terms of axis. In 100% stacked column chart, x-axis represents the categories like sales regions and y-axis represents the percentage like total quantity sold in percentage, etc. Whereas in 100% stacked bar chart, y-axis represents categories like sales region and x-axis represents the percentages, that is total quantity sold, etc. Let's say for our example, we want to analyze total quantity sold by sales region broken down by gender. Here is how we do it. Click on 100% stacked column chart, take total quantity sold in y-axis and sales region in x-axis and gender in legend. Now go to 100% stacked bar chart, take gender in legend, sales region in y-axis, total quantity sold in x-axis. Let's organize them properly. So, 100% stacked column chart gives us information about sales region versus total quantity sold in percentages stacked by gender. And the same with 100% stacked bar chart too. Now, let's talk about pie chart and donut chart. The fifth chart in third row is a pie chart. Click on it. And the sixth chart in the third row is a donut chart. Click on it. Let me explain you what is a pie chart. A pie chart is used to show parts of a whole where each slice represents a category's percentage contribution to the total. Whereas a donut chart is similar to a pie chart but has a blank center, making it easier to compare multiple data points and maintain a clear layout. The difference between pie chart and donut chart is that both charts are used for proportion analysis, but they differ in appearance. Pie charts are best for comparing a small number of categories, while too many slices make it hard to read. Whereas a donut chart provides a clean look and can accommodate more data categories while still being easy to read. Unlike other charts like stacked charts, cluster charts, and 100% stacked charts, there is no access for pie chart and donut chart. As pie chart is only used to represent proportions and donut chart are also used to represent proportions, but the blank center makes it easier to compare multiple datasets. Let's say for our example, we want to analyze total quantity sold by occupation and marital status. Here is how we do it. Click on pie chart, take total quantity sold on values and occupation on legend. Now click on donut chart, take total quantity sold on values and marital status as legend. Over here, pie chart represents total quantity sold by occupation and donut chart represents total quantity sold by marital status. Let's create another page named basic charts to implement line chart and area chart. Hit enter. Now, let's talk about line chart and area chart. The first chart in the second row is a line chart. Click on it. The second chart in the second row is an area chart. Click on it. Let's place them side by side. So what is a line chart? A line chart is used to show trends over time with data points connected by a line. It helps in understanding how values increase, decrease or fluctuate over time. Coming to area chart, an area chart is similar to a line chart, but it fills the space below the line with the color, making it easier to see the magnitude of changes over time. Coming to the difference between line chart and area chart. Both charts are used for trend analysis, but they differ in how they represent the data. Line charts are best for analyzing specific data points over time, like monthly sales trend, etc. Whereas area charts are useful when highlighting total trends rather than exact values. Coming to the way in which line chart and area chart use the axis, both charts use the same axis structure. X-axis represents the time, that is year, month, quarter, day, and Y-axis represents the total value, like total quantity sold, etc. Let's say for our example, we want to analyze total quantity sold over time, which includes year, quarter, month, and day. To do so, click on line chart, take total quantity sold on Y-axis, and take data on X-axis. Now click on area chart, take data on X-axis, total quantity sold on Y-axis. Let's organize the charts properly. Over here there are 4 arrow marks. Let me tell you what each arrow mark means. First arrow mark is drill up. Second arrow mark is drill down. We need to click on data point to drill down. Third symbol will go to the next level in the hierarchy. And if we click on the fourth symbol, it will go one level down in the hierarchy. The same options are available in the area chart too. Let me clearly tell you what is drill up. Drill up allows users to move from a lower level of data to a higher level of data. For example, users can drill up from sales data by city to sales data by region. And drill down allows users to move from a higher level of hierarchy of the data to more detailed level. For example, users can drill down from sales data by region to sales data by city. Let's click on line chart. Now the data is shown by year, quarter, month and day. Let's see what happens if we click on drill up. The data is shown by year, quarter and month without day. Let's again click on drill up. The data is shown by year and quarter without month and day. Let's click on drill up again. Now the data is only shown by year. Let's see what happens if we click on drill down. It is coming down in the hierarchy. It works the same in area chart too. It is shown by year now. Let's click on drill down. It will show year and quarter. And next, it will show year, quarter and month. And again, it will show year, quarter, month and day. So, line chart shows date versus total quantity sold showing trends over time, and area chart shows date versus total quantity sold with filled areas to emphasize volume changes over time. Control is to save the changes. Finally, these charts helps us understand data visually and make informed business decisions. Stay tuned for part 2 where we explore more advanced charts in Power BI. This is all about today's lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.